Crypto market is dumping. Today we are figuring out, are we at the bull market cycle top? And did we actually miss our chance to sell already? What is about alt season? Everyone was screaming about it. It did not happen when it actually might be happening. And we are focusing on the most performing assets currently, which are meme coins, that I think you should actually focus your attention on at this very moment. Without further ado, let's start. This is either the beginning of the bear market and 102,000 was your RHS to actually exit, or a lot of people are unnecessarily capitulating their spot here. Depends on your perspective. This is an opportunity or a warning. Alex Kruger is sharing, people are way too bearish now. Time frame issue in his opinion. Yes, most crypto natives are tired and many even traumatized. Under normal conditions that can actually create a top. But this time Tradify is here buying Bitcoin. It is not Sailor alone. Tradify is essentially Wall Street, BlackRock and companies like this. They could not care less about crypto natives' traumas. So ask yourselves, is the equity stop in? That's the key, as ETFs should ensure calibrations stick around. And to answer that, you have to ask yourself another question. Is the Fed cutting cycle over? Is Fed actually cutting interest rates at this stage, making money cheaper or not? I don't think so. We just had the Fed announce a temporary pause, which by now is mostly priced in. Temporary, not permanent. Actually, during Fed pauses, usually what was happening, a dip initially and then quick recovery, because markets are front looking what happens after the post continuation of the Fed cutting cycle. That's why these things are usually corrective initially as an expectation, and then they tend to recover back the market. Read what Fed officials are saying. They still advocate for further cuts, and the market is barely pricing a little over one cut for 2025. This was 3 months ago. Very interesting. Yeah, previously market was pricing a bunch of rate cuts. Right now it's only one for 2025, which is definitely, with Trump in office, they will definitely be making money cheaper. I think the narrative will soon, because it will stimulate the economy, I think the narrative will soon change again away from a hawkish Fed and the sell-off in long-term interest rates. Trump is around the corner. Yes, we do have smart money like Howard Marks now calling this is an AI bubble, but he's been saying so all of 2024 and self-admittedly does not understand AI. Meanwhile, given the bearish economic data we just had yesterday, AI actually is going to democratize intelligence. It's actually going to devalue heavily the valuation on intelligence out there, which is quite crazy. We were, like, as humans, were able to devalue and remove the price for all other things out there at this stage. Like manufacturing was the first revolution out there, then automation in the current day and age, informatic technology. Right now, essentially, it's about democratization of intelligence out there, which is absolutely crazy if you think about that. But it will devalue the last asset. Like, this is the reason why software engineers are making this much money currently. Soon, they will not. Meanwhile, given the bearish economic data we just had, yes, and I own a software development company, so I'm essentially speaking with the CEOs of other companies. They're not seeing our future as bright, to say the least, right? It's crazy. Like, nothing's going to happen to the industry. It's just going to become really, really cheap to actually develop. Therefore, the salaries for the engineers, they will dumb down as well. I know it's not pleasant. I know most of you are engineers. So make it in meme coins or die. Meanwhile, given the bearish economic data we just had yesterday and the chart, I would not be surprised if BTC trades into the 80s. Yeah, this seems to be consensus on the marketplace currently. I will share my opinion on whether or not we're going to the 80s as well. But in my book, that be short-term noise requiring short-term risk management. Do you think traders will now be selling BTC more actively above 100K, slowing things down, especially up to 105K? Do you think macro matters a lot once again? And I'm not expecting easy mode going forward. Easy money is over, but I'm still expecting new all-time highs. We have a very long year ahead. Good luck trading. Yeah, crazy market right now. So from my point of view, I think what would be happening is that I'm actually expecting bounce around these levels, and I'm expecting us to go to 92.5. We actually almost touched it, right? 92.5. Almost touched it. I think we actually touched it, because I was also expecting us to go to $103,000 and we went to $102,700, right? Absolutely crazy. So we might have actually touched it already, but we might revisit it. So from this point of view, it's harder to say whether or not we will essentially revisit this level, but I'm actually expecting the bounce to 97, 98 right here, right? And from there, we might essentially be going to $85,000. Like, this is the reason I have this on my chart, right? I also don't think that alts will essentially face a lot of downside. Actually, what I do think is that despite the fact BTC will be essentially revisiting new lows, alts might not. which is absolutely crazy if you think about that. There's definitely a strength in alts from this point of view. Something I also wanted to share is beautiful Solana chart that I just created just for you, specifically for you who are watching this video. I was working hard this morning and I created this Solana chart specifically for you. So if you appreciate this, please press the like button. This helps the channel to grow. It helps me to give you more alpha, stay motivated, hire more researchers so you can get this crypto alpha for free. Consider pressing the like button. It helps you, helps your future, helps the future of your family, and helps your children to get into the best college. Thank you. So speaking of this chart out here, we have Solana chart, we have fractal. I copied this fractal, this price action from Solana price action in the end of December till March of 2024. We have the exact same structure. And like these people who are manipulating this market, they're just playing out the same patterns over and over. Do you know why they're playing out the same patterns? Because the same things are the most effective. The patterns that have been played the most are the most effective. Like, why do you think there is always a cup and handle on each and every chart? Because it's the most effective to shake out as much people possible. Cup and handle with multiple sideways price action on the way up as well. Like, people are buying here at the local tops, they're selling here, they're buying here again, they're selling here, they're buying here again. So they are trimming the bags heavily. These patterns have been used because they're the most effective out there. You can see with the naked eye the similarity that we are seeing currently on Solana chart. Point number 1, point number 2, exactly the same. Point number 3, exactly the same. Point number 4, exactly the same. Point number 5, exactly the same. The real question, I would say millions, hundreds of millions of dollar question is whether or not at this level we actually would be reversing from here. It's actually quite crazy to think about that. Sentiment, as usually like, is becoming bearish at the bottoms of the range, which is nothing new to expect from the crypto market. Crypto Twitter is constantly wrong. Everyone was screaming about all season, nothing happened. It was just, people were just screaming at the top. Right now everyone's screaming for lower. We'll see, guys, right? On some of the charts of the alts like Link, I don't like Link. How does it look? It looks, yeah, it's not good, man. Like it looks like it wants slightly lower. And definitely 100% it looks like it. We can also check out the chart of my favorite altcoin out there, which is Mavia. Perfect chart. Like, guys, there is not a single stronger asset out there than Mavia. Very strong price action, very good project, very nice, very good. I suggest everyone to invest into this thing because it's $20 million market cap and it's available on leverage. Moving further, agree with this. Essentially, these guys agreeing that we had the bear trap. Same thing was essentially happening when we were in the correction in the start of November, in the correction in start of October, in the correction in start of August. Wow. Actually, as far as I can see currently, we had 3 major corrections: start of August, start of August, start of October, and start of November. Right now it's start of January, and we're seeing a correction as well. Crazy, right? And current correction is slightly delayed, probably because of the fact that people were just going out of holidays, right? Because all of the corrections in October, it was November 4th, it was August 4th, and it was, I think, October around 4th as well. Crazy. Cryptocurrency longs versus short. So I actually found this new index in terms of the cryptocurrency sentiment. What is your current BTC sentiment? And you can see that 20% is very bearish, 30% is bearish, 20% is neutral. So it's like 70% people who are not that bearish, and we have 30% people who are bullish and very bullish. So the sentiment is definitely bearish at this stage, which is great, which is honestly great. Bitcoin quarterly return, something I wanted to actually focus on as well. So generally January Q1. I'm sorry, where is January? Yeah, here is January. In January, we can see January is historically one of the worst months for the returns on BTC. However, what I think we should compare these months to is post-election year and post-halving year, which is 2021. 2021 did what? Right, did 14% on BTC price action, right? And I do think we should be seeing goals around 110, 120K. We should be setting this new all-time high in the market. This is just something I'm seeing happening out there. So I do think most of the years are irrelevant, that we just only need to look at the year that is in the highest correlation with the year that we are in currently, which is the year post-halving and post-presidential election in the US as well. One thought I cannot get way out of my mind. Solana was $250 in November 2021, 11 months later. It's crazy. It's like following these returns. And the market was rigged with VCs already. VCs did much more access. It just might make sense to throw small chunks of money in a bunch of outs out there. It's like crazy. But we have to move forward. We have to progress in life. We have to learn. We have to figure out how to actually make money with meme coins. Because altcoins are a scam. Second beautiful chart on the same video. Imagine this. I worked hard today to provide you with two beautiful charts out there. Guys, I do think this deserves a like button. Make sure to press the like button. There's a correlation between people who are pressing like button, they're actually making more money. Why? Because if you're pressing a like button, you're getting my videos recommended by YouTube. And people who add to these videos the first, they often are making the most money. That's why you should be pressing like button. More likes button you press, the more money you essentially make. It's very easy. So this is the chart of MLG, something that I essentially spoke on yesterday. I think I told it like $110 million, but by the time that you would be watching this video, we will be higher. We were higher, 130, right? At the same time, I was also posting some things on Twitter at $90 million market cap, and since $90 million market cap, we actually did the 50%. I want to explain what is happening here. I want to explain what these lines actually mean. So what happened is that we're essentially in a beautiful corrective channel, and we need some accumulation. We need some time for this channel to play out. What we're seeing currently is that essentially we tried to break out right here, but we got rejected. Partially it happened because the overall situation in the marketplace is bearish, and because there is a new meme that is actually stealing a bunch of attention currently, which is LLM, which we'll also talk about today. This is our first support area. We touched it 3 times already. It's 62% lower than the all-time high, and we seem to be getting there at this stage. I would say that this level is a very, very nice entry point. This is around $62 million as the entry point out there. I would say that second support area is right here around $30 million. I'm not seeing us going this low, right? It would be 80% lower from the all-time high. Worst case scenario is support area around $12 million, which is 90% from all-time high, but it will probably be a rock at this level. With this amount of volumes, I do believe we should be seeing a reversal. And what we're seeing currently is that essentially volume of the movements is decreasing already, right? So I would say that the sell pressure is lower and lower at these levels, and we're definitely seeing certain buy pressure at these levels. Liquidity on this project is very, very thin. It's only $1.8 million, which means it's very, very easy to push further. I believe MLG has a lot left in the tank, showing strength around 100 million even when Solana Giga nuked today. The coin is over 8 months old, which is a big reason why I'm attracted to it. I believe this can be another culture coin. This essentially synchronizes with the thesis of Murad that he likes to buy coins that are culture coins that are old, right? And following some rumors, I actually think I heard that Murad was in the chat of MLG before the pump, right? I do think that some people might actually use this correction to enter themselves and start pushing this thing higher. Gamers will send it higher. We'll see. I actually do think so. MLG is a 1 billion coin, and here is why. Banks insane calls, including Mock and CryptoPunks NFTs. Banks essentially a large influencer out there who called Mock and CryptoPunks. He just revived FaZe Clan, turning it into the #1 streamer and gaming group in the world. He's dropping MLG mentions and others. MLG is barely listed on CoinMarketCap or any specialized exchange. Insane uptrend metrics show that holders have diamond hands. MLG brings that SPX Pepper vibe. This is actually quite interesting because, yeah, it's old and nostalgic. Why? Definitely. Prediction 1 billion for the meme coin before April. I actually do think this might be happening just because of the fact also that I think one of the most important factors that a lot of people are neglecting. Yeah, like narrative is nice and things are nice. Liquidity is very thin. It's very easy to push this thing to $1 billion. Most likely around $10 million of liquidity. It would be sitting at around 700 million to $1 billion in market cap, and $10 million of liquidity is $5 million in Solana in liquidity pool and $5 million in this coin, which is nothing. MLG, last chance to load up before takeoff. This is something I shared yesterday. This was shared at $90 million, and since then we went to $130 million. Unfortunately, from there we corrected heavily, mainly because current holders decided to sell. Because I think a pain of going to $60 million was just too large. Some people were probably entering around $60 million and they were taking the initials out. And at the same time, market was just nuking. And also the presence of LLM, which kind of stole the attention. I do believe LLM is actually pushed by kind of similar people out there. Ah shit, here MLG goes again. Yeah, also corrective channel, similar to the things that I'm drawing. It's very, very hard to get the exact timing when the reversal will happen, but yeah, something like this is essentially something I'm seeing. At the same time, I do think that parabola might essentially take a bit more time. It was in the books until LLM essentially happened, and if market will be reversing, it will definitely be in the books. It's just that I do think it might take a little bit more time. But yeah, this is just a textbook corrective channel right here. MLG screaming fuck you higher in the face of all AI coins being down. This is unlike anything we've seen before. You ready, gamers? Yeah, it's very, very nice because it's like this gaming meta out there. Banks calls thread guy on stream after MLG hits 150 million. So these guys, they have like a bunch of followers, like LA Cabal, they're pushing a bunch of stuff out there. These guys essentially quite bullish on MLG, obviously, right? And most likely they will continue to push it further as well. Next thing on the list is GG. Unfortunately, this one is not doing this well, as essentially usual beta play around these coins. Oftentimes they're just there to steal money of the holders and capitulate in the form of people who are present on the marketplace. I'm holding this thing myself. I'm actually like down, quite down, because like I was buying here, I sold some here, and I re-entered just now. Actually, I was able to increase the amount of supply that I have, but I just continued to hold. The reason I'm holding this one is because GG is essentially the most famous word in the gaming world out there. Chart kind of looks nice. I would say like this is the level that we actually need to defend, and this is actually the level to enter, because if we're going lower, probably rock, right? So the reason I re-entered here is because it's either you win here or the whole thing just goes to zero, right? Can we see the picture where it goes to longer consolidation and prints cap and handle from here? Well, if MLG we will be dying currently 100% and essentially can be doing something like this 100%, right? I would expect wave 2 from MLG. Now I would expect wave 2 from this thing as well. And if we expect wave 2 currently, is the best time to essentially be entering this thing. MLG to 1 billion, GG to 100 million. I am positioned, praying to God that MLG and GG take us out of this godforsaken AI meta. Yes, I have purchased the wrong AI coins in the last 4 months. Since there is a lot clear beta for MLG yet, I'll take my chances with GG. Very common saying in literally any game. Yeah, this one is quite obvious. I just found a coin that have a violent repricing as soon as you blink, because it can create a literal ton of mindshare once people start catching on. GG. Was shared yesterday. GG is the GM of gaming. Let that sink in. MLG, GG. There was like a GM coin at the end of the previous cycle. It went like through 300 million in no time. Absolutely crazy. It was launched by some people from the Kongs community. So it's a risky bet at this stage, but it's a nice risk-reward bet. It would be very, very interesting to check out the market cap once you would be watching this video and once it would essentially be live. But in general, yeah, it's either we are reversing from here, or essentially we would consolidate from here. We might be going lower, we might be putting the deviation, but current levels, they're quite nice. Volume is 3.4 million for $1 million in market cap, quite a lot as well. So I was waiting for this chart to print new low, right? And new low should have been below this level, right? 100%. So right now, it's like, it kind of looks like it can be this V-shape recovery. This is something that you want to be, and we are seeing slight correction after the recovery. So my bet, the reason I re-entered, is that this should be the V-shape recovery right here. We'll see whether or not this will be happening. I'm betting here with my own money, and I'm slightly down on this one. Next thing on the list is Glam. Something that actually was shown in the video happened yesterday. We actually broke through this major resistance area, around $1 million, right? Exactly as I predicted. I told you yesterday that the next time we touch this area, we actually will break out. We broke through, and unfortunately we faced some sell pressure. Right now we're back in below the range. All I know about this project is that there are some good whales holding. There are at least like 2 people with 250k subscribers, followers on X, and the other one is 100k followers on X. So I'm expecting for this thing to continue going higher. It's also a very, very interesting thesis. So I won't be showing the whole 2 minutes video, but it's like from Coach Bruce, the guy who holds, I think, 4% of Glam currently at this stage and has 250k followers. What he's saying is that in crypto, you should actually be following women, following this stuff where they generally like to hang out in and spend the time and be a part of the community, like host some spaces and things like that. This is definitely something that is happening with Glam at this stage, and it kind of makes sense because women essentially concentrated around certain project. It will attract attention, it will bring sims. Same thing happened with XD actually. XD went up to 20 million just because of the pair of nice tits out there. So maybe this would essentially be happening as well. This cat is a vibe, Glam. What I also do like, and what I also did understand just today, right? Look at this picture. Understand what is the difference. Understand who's the target audience. If you are using the application that I will mention next, you should probably accept this. You should probably accept, like, I'm gay, all right? I would like to suck like some dick and things like that. I'm obviously talking about Instagram. So if you are a man, if you're using Instagram, you're probably gay. That's like 100%. Especially if you hold Giga Chat, like you use Instagram, you hold Giga. Man, just try to jerk off to some random guy on the street, you'll probably like it, right? The aesthetic, the way it's set up, like it's Instagram-like picture. It's very, very appealing. It's like, it definitely feels nice. Like you look at this thing and it looks nice. I can definitely appreciate this here. I really, really like how this picture looks right here. Most of the content of Glam essentially around this thing. And by the way, if you're a man and you're sitting on Instagram, you're gay. So this is essentially it about Glam. Well, let's see how this will be coming out, how this will essentially be moving further. The first mention I think on the channel was around 600 to 500k market cap, so you definitely had a chance to take your initials out, which probably a bunch of you did. Let's actually also check out RSI as the last thing before we move on. Yeah, RSI slightly oversold, but it's not there yet. Hard to say whether or not we are due to further downside, right, at this stage, because these are meme coins. It's hard, but still nice. I'm holding. I was actually not selling any, and I bought slightly more yesterday. Right now we're onto something still in the show. Speculation is actually the same people who pumped MLG have pumped this thing. So it's almost like currently there is the same LA cabal that did not die in the recent fire that happened in LA, and they just pumping coins out there. Interesting. Large language model. That's actually a meme coin. It's kind of like making fun of all the AI stuff out there because people are 100% tired of this one, and it's a funny meme, like large language model, AI 160 kg, and it's also interesting it's kg. It's not like pounds, right? So the guy who's actually the dev behind this, he has a beef with the dev of AI 16Z. So it's also quite nice from this point of view. Frank reveals he would make 2.5 million on LLM if he didn't sell early. I hate 2%. There is no way. Frank the Gods essentially mentioned that. You don't have to be first with memes. You just can't be last. Case and point. I saw LLM today at 11 million and figured I was be top blasting it. But I did a bit more digging. Distro look good. Token was funny, and only 25 minutes after him, Gaj Ria tweeted about it. Aped a bit, enjoy the clean 5x, leave no stone unturned, my friends. To be honest, I've seen this thing first time at around 11 to $40 million market cap. I just don't like to be buy these type of runners, and I often miss them, right? This is what happened as well. So you have to be dumb in the bull market in this type of scenario, if you can call this a bull market, right? I just sized into LLM at $40 million. My thesis for why this might be the easiest trade of 2024 so far. It's quite interesting that like with each new meme comment, people are screaming that like it's next Pepe, it's the easiest trade of 2025. Yeah, it's very interesting, right? So to me, it's hard to say where this thing will essentially be going, right? And please know that it also has a low liquidity out there, so it's kind of easy to push. We'll see. Maybe, yeah, just the same type of top as MLG, local top 150 million, and maybe it will consolidate from here. Pretty hard to say. LLM ran because the US was asleep. This proves the US is full of farmers and broke jits. This is it at this stage. We've seen some updates from Blast, and Indian Blast is essentially up 25% on a daily. I have some things to share on this one. I think I would be doing a separate video. I have a very, very nice thesis to share on this one. The types of videos are essential like. So we would essentially revisit the thesis. We'll revisit the potential. There's also Andy on BNB that's actually appeared on the marketplace, which is at $60 million in market cap at this stage. Absolutely crazy run from that one, moving like crazy. I've seen it quite low. I'm not in myself, but yeah, like BNB is definitely a large chain. It didn't have a lot of like nice memes, so a lot of Andes on BNB they unfortunately rugged. But if this one would essentially stay, yeah, it should have a very, very nice potential to move further in price as well. This is it, guys. Thank you very much for watching this one. I wish you to stay healthy and rich, And I wish you to have a very, very nice end of the week and weekend ahead. Thank you very much for watching this one. I'll be seeing you tomorrow as usual.